do think that this podcast is really important and what you're going to be talking about. So I can't wait to kind of unpack that. But I do think the main question, that the listeners or viewers are going to want to know is, you've been a lawyer for many years, but what made you want to be a lawyer? Where did that start?
Well, it started in high school, and it's kind of funny because I didn't have any lawyers in my family. My mother was a ballet teacher, and my dad was a small businessman in a small town in Oklahoma. But I started out in high school as a student council nerd and a varsity debater. And I was always the kind of person that I felt like a little guy and an outsider. And I always was about my fellow little guys and my fellow outsiders. And I always felt that I was longing for a sense of justice for other people. So, this just extended. I went to college on a leadership scholarship. I ran for the student council there and so on and so forth. And then when I got to law school, I didn't know a tort from a contract from an oil and gas lease. And I sat in my first year torts class and I was like, wow, this is it. And then my first job became, I worked for a medical malpractice lawyer in Oklahoma City. And I was like, this is absolutely what I want to do. If I can ever get there, if I can ever do it, that's what I want to do.
And didn't you, when you first started, I think when we were talking the other day, you wanted to be in the courtroom so bad that you went and knocked on doors?
Oh, yeah.
Did you do that?
Yes. So I'm from Lawton, Oklahoma. And so when I first moved back, I started as a prosecutor and I was in the courtroom all the time. And it was kind of funny because in a small town there, the part of the trial, the voir dire, you start out and you say, does anyone know me? Does anyone know my client? Does anyone know me? And it was really hard to pick a jury there because people would raise their hands and say, oh, your mother taught my daughter ballet, or, your dad sold my son a car, or my dad a car, or something. So it was a very welcoming environment for me. But when I went out into private practice, I didn't have any clients at all. And so we had a criminal court appointment system in Comanche County. So I went around to these older lawyers that didn't want those cases. They already had an established practice. And I'd say, just give me your cases, I'll do them. And so that's how I initially built my practice. And I was fine with it. A felony jury trial paid $500 and a misdemeanor jury trial paid $350. So back then, this was in the, mid 80s. I was great with that. But I was literally in the courtroom all the time, and that's what I loved.